A massive test awaits the Lady Vols in the Bluegrass State. Their final road game of the regular season is a ranked one against the Kentucky Wildcats. And a win, it might not come easy for Coach Kim Caldwell's team. So here's some things that you need to know in anticipation of this top 15 matchup. I'm Paige Dower. This is the Field Pass on Full Disclosure. Now, this matchup between Tennessee and the Kentucky Wildcats is one Kim Caldwell says gives her PTSD, but for very interesting reasons. And I'll kind of draw this connection for you because there is no connection between Kentucky and the Lady Vols when Kim Caldwell is concerned, but there is when you flash back to a year ago when her Marshall team made the field of 64. And in that first round of the NCAA tournament, they were absolutely dismantled. Who did so? Virginia Tech. You're still probably like, Paige, what's the connection here? The connection is that head coach, Kenny Brooks, and its two best players, yeah, they're now at Kentucky, and those two players, they're still causing damage. Georgia Amoore and Claire Stark are the best scoring players for the Kentucky Wildcats. They're just as dominant with their defense as well. And when you look to what that team did to Kim Caldwell's Marshall team, you might understand why it gives her a little bit of PTSD.
I think that her and Clara, we have a little PTSD from both of them. I don't think Clara missed a shot when we played, and so just phenomenal players that are already established, and it's just we're gonna put our foot on the gas a little bit more with the pressure.
Now, Georgia and Claire, they're still averaging double-digit points per game. They lead the team in average scoring, and both of them are probably coming off one of their best games the last couple of weeks, especially Georgia Amoore against LSU. She had 16 points in that game and had some phenomenal turnover plays that led to a bucket on the other end. What Georgia Amoore is able to do for the Kentucky Wildcats is incredibly impressive, and as Kim Caldwell describes it, she is absolutely the head of the snake for that team.
She's the head of the snake for them. She can score, but she also creates shots for other people in ways that you don't see very often. She will put it to them exactly where they needed to score, and so she definitely makes their offense go.
So that trio, led by head coach Kenny Brooks, is certainly something to watch for and how Tennessee's defense will try to slow that pair down. One way they'll be able to slow it down, and it's a 2-for-1, is taking care of the ball to limit turnovers and also having effort plays on the glass. Tennessee does not have the size advantage in this matchup, so being able to take care of the ball, you kind of, if I can connect a number of sports here in this analogy, a few weeks ago, if you were listening on the podcast, Sakai Ziegler and the team were talking about how the coaches will show them other sports plays. The one that they showed them was running backs and how they kind of are able to work through the first point of contact, yards after contact. That's how it is after rebounding. How many times do you go up and try and get the rebound right through that contact? Tennessee needs that type of effort in this game when it comes to the battle on the boards. The other thing is they need to take care of the ball. So a lot of running backs, talk about ball security. Kim Caldwell will say it's not necessarily, not taking care of the ball. It's just that they come at really poor times. And where both of those marry together, and I get my 2-for-1 on this thing to watch for, is that you need to have field awareness. Situational awareness is massive in this game. They got to know when they need to be up in the press, when they need to slow down in transition, where they need to be aware of not only who's guarding them, but who of their teammates are open for a pass and who's not going to be able to catch that pass that could lead to a bad turnover. So being able to maintain that focus will be massive when you go to effort plays like rebounding.
Physical on the inside, we got to do our work early without fouling. I do think our defense has gotten better from the days we were playing Middle Tennessee and Liberty early when their post players were getting whatever they wanted. There's always room for improvement.
And maybe most importantly, but I also think the way that I've talked this entire podcast, I've kind of said more importantly, so maybe all of my examples are 1A, B, and C, and not 1, 2, 3, kind of just go straight across instead of up and down. But the last point is that this is a final tune-up for the Lady Vols. It's a tough road game. We saw how they kind of struggled, but did struggle against Florida and Gainesville, and it's their last ranked matchup of the regular season. The tune-up comes when you think about how they'll be able to be the more physical team, how they'll maintain their focus, where is their maturity when they need it? How do they handle, early fouls, i.e. Talaysia Cooper getting, too early and quick fouls in that first quarter? How do those teammates manage that psychologically? Because this team is going to need that type of maturity, that type of resiliency when you look to having sustained runs, not only in the SEC tournament, but in the NCAA tournament. Maturity will be a key factor in this final road test.
It's important to make the right decisions, like when to go for it on fourth down, or when to kick the field goal or go for the touchdown. It's also important to make the right insurance decisions too. That's why my office, Trey McAdams State Farm, is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Our office will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect when the unexpected happens. With Trey McAdams State Farm, it's easy to make the right call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Proud sponsor of the Tennessee Vols.
The game matters. It matters for us. It matters for them. I think that it's a sold-out game. We're a team that's been talking about maturing and coming together, playing as a team, being resilient. Our resilience is going to be tested on Thursday.
I will also be in Lexington for this game, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those post-game reactions from a hopeful top 15 win for the Lady Vols, and they improve in the win-loss column for the SEC and then the SEC standings and where that might put them when you get to the SEC tournament seeding. So definitely make sure you subscribe. I will be back on Thursday to talk all things Lady Vols. Wednesday, I will have a player profile on one of the Lady Vols. You won't want to miss that either. Talk to you then.